press releases will always still matter. Reporters aren't sitting around waiting for them like they were before, but basically it helps you index online and it helps establish that GEO for you. Uh, it's just you still need to do them. And for people, I see so many people, they post and post, and I said they probably wearing themselves out, you know. And a lot of times we post things and they're not really going to be found a month from now. But if you write a press release, you'll find it a month from now.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't do more of it. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's why we have EIN.
Right, right.
I wasn't paid to say that, but you
Yeah.
know, that is the one that I use.
So this is actually our very first episode of our video podcast for Heard on the Streets. And we have someone who I had the pleasure of actually interviewing for a Q&A beforehand, Mrs. Pam Perry.
Hey there. Hey, Isaac.
So for people who don't know about you, just if you could give us like a brief introduction about what you do and
Yeah,
how you got started.
definitely. My company, Pam Perry PR, I've been around since 2000. So that was way before the topic that we're going to talk about AI, right? And my company primarily works with speakers, authors, and subject matter experts. A lot of them happen to be nonfiction authors, and a lot of them are faith-based as well. And I basically tell people I PAM people's brands, meaning I promote, amplify, and market their brands, books, and their business.
Well, we are going to get right into the topic of AI. If you all been following our Substack, we've been covering AI used in communications for quite some time. Our VP has been writing pieces for Forbes about this topic that is very important for communications professionals to learn. And this strategy, I believe, is called GEO. You've been writing about it too on your LinkedIn and on your Substack platform, and you have a very helpful guide that I think everyone should read. So
Thank
let's
you.
break down GEO first of all in simple terms for the folks who may not understand what it is and
Yeah.
why
So
it's important.
yeah, initially people were like, "Oh, I want SEO. I want SEO," meaning that I want search engine optimization for the to rank on Google, right? To rank on the first page of Google and then rank #1 on Google. SEO, search engine optimization. So when people are searching you on Google, they find you. Where generative engine optimization is really inside the AI answers. So people may not know, but there are AI answers when you're Googling something. Before, when we Google something, we would have to look at maybe the first page and look at all 10 links and then kind of gather a answer or what we're looking for from going to all 10 links. It's a good thing. But now you could go and put in what you're looking for, and the GEO will just give you the best of the links that are out there. So basically, SEO was like being on Google. GEO was like what is it that someone is looking for in terms of the entire thing. So you become a source for ChatGPT, you become a source for Gemini, you become a source for Claude. It's in Google, and then there's a little thing that says AI mode, and it will pull out links for you if they're authority links about what it is you're asking. So that's like the GEO. It's the new SEO in a way, I guess you would say. Before people wanted to be Googleicious, now they want to be GEO. I haven't figured out the word for that, but GEO is.
Yeah, we've been we've been using the term, well, phrase, should I say, it's important to gain AI visibility,
Mhm.
especially when when we're writing these pieces about AI used in communications. So what I found is that I think it was based on some recent study that most folks, when they're searching for like a brand or an author, they're not visiting that person's website anymore.
Mm.
they're more so looking at those AI overviews. I was wondering, do you find this to be true? And, how do you relay that message to your clients?
Absolutely. I mean, you still need a website. So we're not
Yeah.
going to say that. You still need a website because what happens is AI will pull information from your website. So you really just want content that is strong, authoritative, uh, because that's what it will pull the best of the best about you from those different sites. So whether it is a press release, whether it is from a podcast, it could be from your website, it could be from LinkedIn, it could be from Substack, but it'll give you a potpourri of the best in that AI answer. And that's where you really want to be. You could go to someone's website and yeah, you do want to kind of dig around in there, but basically the website is written by that person. So you want to know what it is that other people are saying about you. So what are the things that the AI is finding that is the most authoritative and they're putting it in one particular spot.
How do you, I guess, feed these AI systems, if you will? What type of authoritative pieces or what kind of content, should I say,
Yeah,
um,
it is.
helps you
And
show up in AI systems?
right. It is clarity is key, but
Mm.
I would say people who, depending on your audience, the people that I work with, we're really creating thought leadership type of pieces. So it could be press releases are not dead. So we're going to say a press release, right? Because that way you can put that out there, you can put backlinks in and that kind of thing. YouTube is owned by Google. I always tell people to whatever article that you write to maybe do a YouTube companion with it, whether they use LinkedIn or Substack or both. Those are authoritative things, and they have, I guess you would say, they have a really good base versus something like another type of. I'm not going to dog Facebook, but Facebook is more
Mhm.
familiar and more family oriented, whereas Substack and LinkedIn is a little bit more authoritative. So I tell people, I said, you're going to use probably 5 platforms. TikTok could be one if you're really good at video, but the main thing is that you want to do interviews, you want to do podcasts, you want to do those things that pull long form content out and not just really just short things. So it's a combination. It's like making a cake, I guess you would say. You're going to have
Mhm.
all these ingredients in order to make this cake or the soup. You're going to add all of these elements to that. But the main thing is to always lead with your main authority pieces, your long form content. Uh,
You know what I find that might be scary to clients, and I'm curious to see if this issue has come up. But you want to control your narrative. We've been talking about that a lot. By putting out press releases and not just press releases. Social media content. But what about these Google reviews and what's that platform called? I think it's called Reddit and all this
mm-hmm,
stuff. Does
mm-hmm.
that stuff really matter? Does AI pull
I mean, Yelp
from those
is
platforms?
is a multi-million-dollar company, right? So that's
Mm.
basically what it is. People are looking for reviews and Google reviews as well.
Yeah.
But I anything Google obviously is they're going to be feeding it, and that's part of it as well. So that'll probably where some of the AI answers come from, and Yelp. I would say, yeah, the reviews still matter. Those really matter. I don't know if I would. I had someone. This could just be how it was, but someone came to me and said, "Hey, we can write reviews for you for Google," and I'm like, "What?" And they wanted money. I'm like, "Oh my God, really? This is a thing."
Mm.
So people will, if you're going to go out to dinner, you're going to check the reviews. You're
Right.
going to go to a movie, you're going to check the reviews. So those are the things that, especially, that it's real, it's not fake, it's people that are really saying the real thing. They're not getting paid to do it. So yeah, I would say always use that. LinkedIn posts, when you see reviews on LinkedIn, no one can really give you a review or recommendation on LinkedIn unless they are approved by you and they have a LinkedIn account.
Mm.
So I probably have on my LinkedIn maybe, I don't know, 100 different recommendations. Uh, they are bona fide recommendations. It's not something I wrote and I put on the page.
Mhm.
They had to be, someone had to really own that LinkedIn account. They had to send the recommendation and then I approved it and then it shows up on my page. Those are the kind of things where it's like it really goes through a big vetting process. And so people are looking at that, things that go through
Yeah.
a vetting process.
And I
Mm.
said scary because if you have a bad review, and these AI platforms don't have anything else to pull from. That's why you might want to put out other content because somebody could just be unhappy.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, people will do
we
that
all get bad
just because.
reviews,
Yeah.
just to be fair. But
Hmm.
of course you don't want to get a whole bunch of, you know,
Yeah. That would be
whole
the
bunch
thing.
of
If you
bad
get
reviews.
if it's a whole lot of bad reviews, there's a
Yeah,
common
there's an issue.
denominator there. Hmm.
So for small business owners, you work with a lot of small business owners, I believe. I know you work with entrepreneurs, also authors. Do they find themselves maybe overwhelmed with AI?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. They are overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed. It's coming at the speed of light. AI has been, it's a good tool, but it's also faster and faster. It's like going at the speed of light. So before it was like, okay, I can get on Instagram and I can do a post, but now I got to do an Instagram and now we got to do a carousel reel. Now I've got to do Instagram and I've got to do reels. And now I got to do Instagram live. I'm going TikTok, TikTok shop, TikTok live, TikTok, it's just TikTok story, LinkedIn post, LinkedIn newsletter, LinkedIn groups. It's just overwhelming. And before, maybe, let's say I started in 2000, before, have a website, have a blog. Oh, you're doing really good if you do a podcast. And then it just speeds up. So the more we move into time, the more things we're going to have to use or do. But I always tell people pick your favorite five and
Mhm.
stick with that and be consistent. And stages. So think about it. So Isaac, everything is all online, computers, whatever. AI is even like doing videos, or we're live, but that you could do anything.
Mhm.
So the only thing that really will stand out then is person to person live. So going on a stage in front of real people in real life is going to be the thing that most people are wanting now. They want to speak and they want people to really understand who they are, and that builds trust quicker than reading my newsletter or listening to my podcast or uh, looking at my media kit. That's fine. That's kind of like I'll look at that too. But if I meet you in person, most people will feel like, I really like them, or I like their vibe, I like their energy. You can't really fake that.
Right.
So being on stages is really, really key now. Doing television interviews, that's fine, because even then, if you do a television interview, people don't know whether you got those questions ahead of time, and they don't know if you paid to be on that television interview. I mean, it's just so many different questions. But typically, if you're live and in person in front of a real live audience, that is probably the best trust builder and authority builder that you can have right now, because there's so many other things you still need to do them,
Right.
but people are less trusting.
How do you approach, I guess, PR and marketing strategies at your firm now? So, we're talking about AI-driven communications strategies, but isn't it still important to maintain the traditional PR strategy that we learned in college ages ago now for me?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you're writing a press release, it still matters who, what, when, where, why, and how, right? You
Mm,
you still need to answer those questions. And when you issue a press release, it still has to have some newsworthiness to it, right?
right.
That's always going to be the thing. Uh, the press release is what I call the reporters or the journalists' love language. So you want to have a press release because they will ask, send me a release, meaning that if you're pitching them for a story, you're pitching to be on their show, yeah, they'll look at all this other stuff you have. It's beautiful, but they want the thing that really makes everything even for them, and that's a press release. So then you can send the press release. It'll have the who, what, when, where, why, and
Yeah.
how in it. That is really, really important. So I love combining the AI with the traditional PR things. Something as simple as a brand photo. I definitely, obviously we had Photoshop before, but AI photos now can be so much more creative. And so I use
Yeah.
that often for a lot of my clients because I have a magazine, I publish Speakers Magazine. And so a lot of times I'm taking someone's picture and I'm putting them in the background or putting them on the stage. It's just a lot of fun we could do with that. Uh, I do focus on making sure that for me, my clients are mostly speakers, that they
Mhm.
use video, that they use StreamYard, YouTube, Zoom, TikTok, Instagram Live, Facebook, that they're using video because that's the next best thing. Like I said, to being there is really doing something on video. So those are like the main things that I really do tell people to do, to get on television, to have their own television show, to have their own podcast. That's important today because people need to see you and hear you. And so you don't always have to wait for a stage. You can create your own stage by creating your own podcast. I always tell people to, once you have like say you were on a television interview and you were on there for half an hour, take it and make it clips. And then you have content that you could still share out over the next few weeks or even like a month. Sometimes if you use something like an Opus Clips, and you can create 20 clips out of one half an hour video. So I love using both. It gets overwhelming when people think that they have to use every new tool. That's the thing. And I tell people, I said, unless you know that you can use it consistently, hold off on it, because now you just got a whole bunch of tools that you just got all these subscriptions for and you're not even using them. So I tell people, just use the ones that you know you can use over and over again, or hire a VA to help you with some of the things that an entrepreneur who's running their own business doesn't have time to do all these things. So hire someone who does know that. So yeah, it's combining the both, but finding that sweet spot that doesn't make you crazy,
Right.
but you still want to look like you're on top of things. I just told someone the other day that they didn't even realize that they can take their video and make little clips by using a particular app. And they were doing it on their phone. It was taking them so much time. Or even a producer, they have a whole lot of content from years previous. And they were like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I guess I should probably put them up on YouTube. I said, well, you could put up on YouTube and then make clips. So I'm real big about showing people how to repurpose and how to leverage what they already have. That was the last article that I wrote on Substack, actually, was don't let your content be in a graveyard, and try to revive that so that
Yeah.
you can really repurpose it and leverage it out now. And it won't take you as long as you did to create it, because now you have the AI tools to really bring life back to them again. Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on, but it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, AI, I've written about this so much now. It just kind of sticks in my head. It's like AI is like reshaping, public relations. And
It is. It is. But
when I
press
was in
releases,
school, it didn't exist. We learned, in our classes we learned different type of strategies and tactics. And I assume, because I'm not, I don't know anybody in J school now, but I'm pretty sure part of these curriculums they have to add in,
oh yeah, the
AI.
MMJs, yeah, the MMJs definitely are using AI. I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure the multimedia journalists are using AI all day, every day. But press releases will always still matter. Reporters aren't sitting around waiting for them like they were before, but basically it helps you index online, and it helps establish that GEO for you. Uh, it's just you still need to do them. And for people, I see so many people, they post and post, and I said, they're probably wearing themselves out. And a lot of times we post things and they're not really going to be found a month from now. But if you write a press release, you'll find it a month from now.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't do more of it. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's why we have EIN.
Right,
And I
right.
wasn't paid to say that, but
Yeah.
that is the one that I use. And
Yeah.
and it's where the GEO, where they pull information from. So yeah, because you all won't publish anything if it doesn't fit your guidelines. So it
Right.
goes through a vetting process. So that does have authority in it. So yeah, that's part of it as well.
So when it comes to content creation using, let's say, an AI platform like ChatGPT,
Hmm.
so now I'm sure a lot of folks, they're just using it to write a press release because you can just write in the prompt,
Right.
write this press release, follow AP
Hmm.
style, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
Are there any common mistakes that you see when people are using these platforms to write press releases?
Oh my
Um,
God.
they're
Yeah.
copying and pasting them. Is that a no-no, or,
Yeah, I can tell
like, what do
them.
you
And
suggest?
if as a publicist, I could see them a mile away that
Mhm.
they are Chat GPT. And I'm sure a reporter or producer does as well. One, when they copy and paste it, it's a little bit too robotic, too uh, repetitive. Sometimes, depending on, it could be so over the top, it's crazy. And they have the M hyphens still in there,
Yeah.
right? They're still doing that. Uh, a lot of times it doesn't have a live quote. Okay, so you need a live quote in the press release. Sometimes it's like just giving a little bit more narrative to the press release. And, it doesn't give you the facts. So if I'm looking for something, I'm researching, I do need a backlink in it. I need to know, have an about at the bottom, like who is this about? I do need a little bit more of the why. And sometimes you have to put your own story in there in the why. And ChatGPT wouldn't know your why you're doing anything. They don't know. They're just going to spit out the facts. So yeah. So I can tell it. And I'm sure other people can tell it. But for people who don't know how to press release, it's a great tool. But you should always still have a professional or even just study it more on what a real good press release really looks like, and have good headlines. I mean, you still have to do a little SEO tools to it as well, like having some keywords in it, but I wouldn't get stuck on that as much as like really going through the basics of the who, what, when, where, why, and how, and really putting in some quotes and making sure that it doesn't sound like a robot.
Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned SEO, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it's still important. I almost feel like you kind of have to combine good SEO strategies with
Yes,
GEO because I don't
it's
know,
a
they kind of
dance.
overlap in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, you do. It's
Keywords.
it is.
Yeah.
It is you can have a really, really good story, good press release, but if you don't have the words, what people are searching for, it will never get found.
Right.
So you do have to do that dance back and forth of what it is naturally that people will look for. And so think of that in terms of a keyword or what they're looking for. Like, what is the top leadership speaker? That's a basic keyword, leadership speaker. I'm looking for that. And then don't be so fancy with it that you're not found because you're calling yourself something else.
Right.
You could be calling yourself, I don't know, pristine pyramid speaker, what? And it's
Yeah.
like, no one's looking for that. They're looking for a leadership speaker.
Right.
So we can have really fancy, cute names, but ain't nobody looking for that. So I always tell people you have to really balance those both. You want to be indexed in Google based on keywords that people are looking for. You want to be discovered by AI uh, with GEO, generative engine optimization.
Mm.
You need media because those are authority links. Those are high domain authority links, meaning like Forbes or Fortune, New York Times. Those are high authority, meaning that Google and AI love those kind of things because they're authoritative uh, outlets, right? They're known for that. You
Yeah.
want to put whatever you put out, always put your website in there so you have a backlink back to your website. So your website's still important.
Right.
Websites are still important, but you just have to use a little bit more AI strategy to make sure that your website still ranks. And you should still blog.
Yeah.
Still blog. I still blog.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah,
blogging
me too. Yeah, we do
for
as
a
well.
while. So still blog because you have to update your website.
Right. Right.
They crawl and they try to see if anything new is on your website. So you still want to blog. Those are the kind of things. And you want to speak.
Hmm.
You want to speak, whether you're speaking virtually or speaking on a stage, but speak. That's one of the key things of doing things to make sure that you're found and discovered and you stay visible and relevant
Yeah.
and trusted. Trust is a big thing.
Now, I know we don't have much time. I want to touch on your recent LinkedIn post because I really enjoyed reading it.
Oh,
Um,
good.
I like the point that you made about writing for humans first. Um, I was interviewing someone on for one of our upcoming Q&A Substacks, and he was talking about that. He's one of the pioneers actually for implementing AI in modern newsrooms. So you talked about writing for humans first as well. How do you do that while still making content easy for AI to find?
Well, it's almost like it's simple, it's plain, it's direct. That is what humans like, and that's what AI likes. So you can't be so technical, like it's a thesis or a dissertation. and thinking like, "Ooh, this is going to be really good for the AI engines to really find this." Nope, they don't like that. They would rather you make it simple, plain. It's almost like when we were taught in journalism school, and you remember it says, "Make it so that a fifth grader can
Yeah, I remember
understand."
that. Yeah, I do remember that.
And
I was
it's
like,
like,
I got to write
yeah,
on that low of a level.
yes, you do,
I
because
remember
it's
that.
very simple. Why? Not because we're not smart, but we
Hmm.
just have too much information coming at us too fast.
Hmm.
So it needs to be simple. I need to read it, scan it fast. And if it's too complicated and too convoluted, I'm going to run past it. The same thing that AI would. They'll run past it because it's too complicated, too convoluted. They can't really pull information out of it fast. So we do want to write for humans in fifth grade. Most newspapers are written for fifth grade level. When you look at it, they really are. Even though, we went to school and some of us have PhDs and things like that. The beauty of really finding uh, success is being able to take a really, really complex topic and breaking it down so anybody can understand it. That's when you know you hit gold. So that's where I say write for humans, meaning that conversational the way we're talking right now. Because right now you were asking what with the fireflies. So fireflies .ai takes Zoom and it'll make our transcript. Our transcript will then be something that we can read, and it's very simple. It's conversational. So I can even take that and make that into an article, which I probably will. But it's conversation. Now, if I was talking like my Harvard professor, it would not really be something that people would want to read and share and spend time with the article like that, because they have to think too hard in order to read it. People are reading for information. They want to read it fast and scan it. So that's why I said when you want to write for humans, you really want to make it very simple. Because if you go into something and you're looking at Perplexity or Gemini, any of these things, you want the answer to come back so that you understand
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be perplexed by Perplexity.
Now, I know we're running out of time. We definitely have to do a part 2 about this subject, very important subject, and I
And it'll
definitely
probably change.
appreciate.
It'll be changed by the end of next week as well.
Exactly. It's moving at lightning speed, and
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to talking to you more, and even off camera, about different strategies, and we got to get you on for another episode to continue this conversation. But I
Yes.
appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. Well, Isaac, thank you so much. Yeah, visibility is really, really important today, especially in the world of AI. It's too much noise and it's coming too fast. So we do have to focus and really just lean in to the things that work for us.
All right, there you have it. Thanks a lot, Pam Perry.
Thank you.